On the city's south side. Good evening, everyone. I'm Megan Coleman. Here's what we know so far. The initial police response happened around 1:15 this afternoon. At one point, several Syracuse police units rushed to the scene near the south side. A man police say was involved in a domestic incident involving a gun later shot himself near a market off South Salina Street. This afternoon, police say they are continuing to investigate. This is a situation that drew police from every corner of the city, fueled in part, they say, by a false narrative that police had shot the man. Our Matt Mulcahy is on the scene for us tonight, trying to untangle, Matt, all of the misinformation that's been swirling throughout the community today.
Well, Megan, the scene has settled down significantly since I first got here at about 2:20, 2:30 this afternoon. At that time, there were police cars everywhere. The ambulance was still right here with the victim inside. It had not yet left to go to the hospital. But I did talk to Police Chief Joe Cecile within the last 35 to 40 minutes, and he explained officers did not shoot the man. They've looked at body camera video. They've looked at Ring doorbell camera video, and what that video showed to them is that the man shot himself. He's now in critical condition at Upstate Hospital. The chief says those injuries are grave, but he wants the public to understand that the officers here on the scene did not fire their weapons, that it did take place in public, and it was very upsetting for people who saw it. Here's what the chief said just a short time ago.
All indications right now are that it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. He is now currently at Upstate in critical condition.
Did your officers have to fire a shot at all?
All indications are our officers fired no shots.
What did they give you any witness statements, or what have you seen on the video in terms of like proximity? How far away was he to the officers when they were engaging?
Sure, that's a great question. That kind of information I'm going to hold on to because if the individual does pass away and he's in very serious critical condition, it will be an AG investigation as well as the district attorney. So that's kind of becoming evidence at this point. But they were approaching him. I don't want to give you the distance, but all indications are we didn't fire a shot.
The chief also explained to me that before the man shot himself, the officers had grouped and discussed how they were going to approach this scene here at the corner of Amherst and Salina, which coincidentally is only 2 blocks to the south of where Syracuse police officer Wally Howard was shot and killed in October of 1990. So that's a very close proximity in terms of a risk to officers here in the Syracuse Police Department. When I first got here on the scene, people were very upset, agitated. There were a lot of different versions of facts of what they thought had taken place here. But now, according to Chief Joe Cecile, the body camera video, which is helping with this investigation already, does support the idea that this man shot himself, and he is now at Upstate Hospital in critical condition. Megan?
And Matt, we know that this all started around the Weiser Court area with a domestic incident and that suspect apparently firing a gun. What do we know about how this all began in the first place?
Right. Weiser Court is in the Pioneer Homes project, which is just to the north of here by, say, 8 to 10 blocks away. Not that far, but not in the same neighborhood. And that initial call was for a domestic violence call. The woman who was inside was concerned that this man had come back to the apartment with a gun. Police saw evidence that that gun was fired at the door of that apartment, and when they responded there, the man had already left. They then got a report that he was here at Amherst. We believe he has some family or relatives that live on this street, and that's what draw the large police presence here, that there was a man outside known to have a weapon, and then he shot himself. The police scene is now much quieter than it was back then at 2:30, and it's likely to wrap up in the next hour. Megan?